Ethan Walker had always believed in the sanctity of marriage. A 36-year-old software engineer, he had spent the last decade building a life with his wife, Lauren. Their suburban home was a testament to years of hard work, late-night coding sessions, and sacrifices he had made to ensure they had a comfortable life. Lauren, an event planner, had always been the more social of the two, filling their calendar with dinner parties and weekend getaways. Ethan's job required long hours, but he never thought it would create a rift between them. He trusted Lauren implicitly. However, in recent months, he had sensed a shift. She had become more distant, less affectionate. At first, he chalked it up to stress from work, but when she started dressing up more often, staying out later than usual, and constantly guarding her phone, doubt began to creep in. His suspicions weren't just limited to home. At work, his coworker Jason, a smooth-talking, ambitious account manager, had been acting differently. Once friendly, Jason had started avoiding Ethan, brushing past him in the hallways with forced politeness. It was a minor detail, but Ethan had learned to trust his instincts. Something felt off. One evening, Ethan was working late when Lauren texted, "Going out with the girls. Don't wait up." The message was innocuous enough, but something about it didn't sit right. He decided to check her social media. No posts, no group pictures, just silence. That night, Ethan lay awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering if he was imagining things. But deep down, he knew something was wrong. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of subtle deceptions and growing doubts. Lauren's absences became more frequent. Her phone never left her side, and she was quick to turn the screen away whenever Ethan walked by. She laughed at messages he never saw, excused herself to take calls in the other room, and grew increasingly impatient with him. Ethan decided to test the waters. One Friday evening, he casually asked, "So, how was dinner with the girls last night?" Lauren hesitated. "Oh yeah, it was fun. We went to that Italian place downtown." Ethan nodded but didn't press further. He knew something she didn't. He had driven past that restaurant the night before. It was closed for renovations. His doubts solidified into a gut-wrenching certainty when he overheard a hushed conversation at work. Jason, the coworker who had been avoiding him, was laughing in the break room with another colleague. "Yeah, he has no clue. She just keeps feeding him excuses, and he buys them every time." Ethan's blood ran cold. He stepped forward, making his presence known. Jason's face paled, but he quickly masked it with a forced smile. "Hey, Ethan." Ethan didn't respond. He simply walked away, fists clenched. The pieces were coming together, and he needed proof. That night, he decided to go through Lauren's old phone, the one she had discarded months ago. He knew she hadn't wiped it clean. She wasn't tech-savvy enough. After hours of digging through backups, he found it. A hidden folder labeled Memories. Inside were dozens of photos and videos. Lauren and Jason, laughing together, holding hands, kissing. Some taken in their car, some in hotel rooms. The timestamps? All during the nights she had told him she was out with friends. His heart pounded. The betrayal was real. He had proof. Now it was time to act. Ethan didn't sleep that night. He crafted his plan meticulously. The next day, he scheduled a meeting with HR. "I have something you need to see," he told them, placing his phone on the table and playing the damning evidence. Workplace affairs were against company policy. Jason had just signed his own termination letter. At home, he waited for Lauren. When she walked through the door, he greeted her with eerie calm. "Had a good night?" She hesitated. "Yeah, just the usual." He pulled out his phone and scrolled through the pictures. "That's interesting, because Jason seems to be your usual these days." Lauren's face went pale. "Ethan, I can explain." "No," he cut her off. "You've explained enough. I just wanted you to know before you pack your things." Tears welled up in her eyes. "Please, it's not what you think. It's exactly what I think." Meanwhile, Jason was blindsided at work. HR escorted him out of the building, and the news spread like wildfire. His wife? She found out soon after, thanks to Ethan sending her the photos directly. Jason's life crumbled within hours. But the real twist? He ghosted Lauren. The moment his world fell apart, he cut all ties, leaving her alone in the wreckage. Lauren tried reaching out to Jason, but he never responded. She was left humiliated, jobless, and abandoned. Ethan, on the other hand, was rebuilding. The divorce process had started, and with the evidence he had, Lauren walked away with nothing. Jason lost his job, his reputation, and his family. Lauren begged Ethan for another chance. "We can fix this," she sobbed. "There is no we anymore," he replied coldly. Months later, Ethan was thriving. He had thrown himself into work, hit the gym, and even started dating again. Meanwhile, Lauren had become a pariah. Her family was ashamed, her friends distanced themselves, and Jason? He never spoke to her again. One evening, Ethan received a message from an unknown number. "I miss you." He smirked, blocked the number, and went back to enjoying his life. Lauren had lost everything. Ethan, however, had gained something priceless: freedom.